Just my, okay, we're live on Facebook. Okay, so I think this is the mic which is not, like I'm clear, I think. So hi, good evening everybody, and we are live on Facebook. I've come back after some days. I know my last 10 months are going very slowly. Sorry, I just have to stop that. So, yeah, so here we go. So sorry, I've been just out of this whole continuous getting mums after mums, stories after stories because of a lot of break, and this is an international global mums thing. Christmas is happening, people are on vacation. So we're moving slowly and steadily towards reaching my 100 moms for the book, and I yet again have a beautiful mom to introduce to all of you. 87th mom, all of you have seen the journey in the last 4 months of stories after stories after stories of mothers. And every mother has taught me something, I must say that. I must admit that I definitely feel much stronger as a mom after hearing so many mom stories. And as I always say, that this book will be that book to that mom when she feels she can't do it. And she listens to these stories and she sees these moms expressing themselves, she will say, when they can do it, so can I. That's the way we are moving forward with this book. That has not changed, and I hold all of you every single day during my day, walking, doing things, all of your stories. I'm holding it together, and very soon we'll have a physical book with us with 100 moms in it. I have a beautiful, beautiful mom, Anjana. I had a beautiful conversation with her when I spoke to her. Anjana, welcome to this book. They're my 87th mom. We are reaching there. We're 100 moms, and welcome to this book. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, because I always say that people who live their stories always tell their stories the best. So I am no one to read your biodata or anything, but let's start from your journey till you became a mom, and then from there onwards we can go forward with your journey to a mom with our second question.
Thank you so much, Shikha. Thanks a ton. And first of all, thank you very much for making me part of the journey called the Portraits of Moms. And it's a privilege. I have seen some of the interviews and seen the profiles, the kind of mothers you have interviewed, and it's an honor to be on the same page with them. And thinking back when I spoke to you, I thought, really, have I achieved something? Have I done something in life? But good, you gave me an opportunity to reflect back and just go through instead of just going through my mundane things, everyday routine. You suddenly feel it's a routine. Everybody does it. And when you look back and suddenly you start pondering and no, you have done something yet. This is a major achievement. Why not? Why not if somebody there out there, even if a single person is there who gets inspired after listening to what we went through or what so many other ladies have gone through and achieved something in life, why not? Why not be on this page and be part of this journey with you? My name is Anjana Dhar. I belong to the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and out of that, basically, I'm from Kashmir. Unfortunately, due to whatever the reasons, you people must be aware how we had to, leave our birthplace and move to other parts of India. So that's how now, if anybody asks me, so which state, I said, I don't know now because I have been part of whole India. I was born and brought up some years in Kashmir. Then I've spent time in Jammu, Delhi, Pune, Bombay, and now since last 17 years, I'm in Bangalore. So I might as well call myself a Kannadiga, but that's it. So this is in gist what I do. I am a working mom. I have been actually, I was working before birth of my two children. Then in between, I gave an 11 years gap, raised both of children. Then after 11 years, again went back to my job. And after 10 years now, again in service, I've taken a sabbatical thanks to COVID. But I think it was much needed. You needed time to reflect that what next you have done. One phase was pre-children. The second was post-children. So now, what now that your children are adults and grown up and don't need you anymore?
Right. So that's That's, I think that's a very common thing with all mothers. Like there is a pre-mother, there's a post-mother, and then there's post-COVID. I think that's been our all of our mothers especially have had that journey for sure. And just when I was speaking to you, I'm bringing these pages alive, Anjana. I'm bringing these pages alive to inspire the mothers, because there are a lot of mothers who sometimes feel very stuck. They feel that life is just this, and we carry so much from our past. We carry all kinds of things. I'm carrying, other mothers are carrying. There's so many things sometimes that happen when we're growing up. And then we have children. And when we have children, we have to gather that whole courage again, and then restart, rebuild, because we need to show them the paths without getting them affected by what we have. So, would you just like to give us a glimpse of what your story has been and how it, from your health journey, you've had a health journey as well. You had journey where there were decisions that needed to be made, even while leaving Kashmir and coming here, and decisions and new city and embracing, and then motherhood and not being well. Let's tell the world, because there are some mothers who really want to be sure, because these interviews are eventually going to go on YouTube, they're going to get on podcast. We need to get these voices out to some mom who can hear us and say, if Anjana can do it, I'm sure I can. So let's take that journey down.
Thanks a lot. Let me, divide the journey till now in two parts. That is pre 91 and post 91. Pre 91, actually, I just can't. There's not too much thing because life was very smooth. Things were taken care of. You were schooling in one of the best schools. Entered college. I had just entered college, and things started getting worse in Srinagar. And overnight, a day before, we were, having the best life we could have, a huge house in a joint family, nothing to worry about. And suddenly, in one day, everything changed, and we are on roads. We don't have a house. My parents don't have a job, and I don't have education. There's nothing, and you are lost and middle of a place where you're not used to. There is the language is not yours, the climate, especially for us Kashmiris. We came from a place where we didn't know what heat was, and suddenly we're thrown in a place where the climates are even 40 degrees, and we don't know how to cope. We don't know what to wear. We don't have clothes. And that's how we began, from one room, where me, my parents, my brother was that time doing his engineering from Karnataka, and he had no clue that this has happened, because those days we didn't have mobile phones, we didn't have communication. Was STD phones after 11 o'clock, once or twice a month. That's it. And he had no clue that he doesn't have a home now.
So we have an international audience here. We need to put them in perspective of exactly what was happening. Was that, and I think I was very young. I was pretty young, and so I don't have, and I am not a very big news reader anyway. So what I know of it was that Kashmiri Pandits were told to leave Kashmir because they were told that this does not belong. And just letting the international audience know that as different countries have different issues, border issues, refugee issues, migrants issues, so a lot of stuff keeps happening in every country. It's not India. In every country, something or the other happens, and that's already been, in this whole journey of 87 moms, we have seen that different countries go through that. Similarly, our country also was going through that, and Kashmiri Pandits were pushed down, saying that this does not, and Anjana belongs to that community, and that's what she's talking about. That she was told, the family was told, she was one of the families who was told to leave, and there was a lot of exchange of violence and a lot of unjust that was happening at that point in time, when this thing was happening. So I'm just putting that in perspective, and yes, uh, yes, it can be very. I mean, this is a new thing that you put in my head. Also, the climate part. That I even something like that could be an adjusting issue, apart from not having a home, language, your comfort zone, but also heat. Like There can be no
Overnight you are in an alien zone, and you grow up. A day before you were treated as a kid, you were treated as a child, and suddenly you feel responsible because you know the source of income has dried. You know you have an elder brother who's still studying. You know there is just one room and there's three of us. You suddenly grow up and you know, okay, now you have to be the adult. You have to support your parents in whatever they do. So that was one part. I want to focus on the part of me and my education, because my parents' job, government was there. They were taken care of after a few months. But what was suffering was our education, because the local place where we were, the colleges refused to give us admission, because they said we already have our own students. We can adjust 5, 10, 20, 30, but not thousands of you. We don't have place for you. So what do? Our people, our own state, Srinagar, we have been thrown out. Now we are in Jammu, we don't know what to do, where to study. So that was the first time when I became part of the agitation, what I'll call, with the students. So we started approaching authorities. Nobody would listen to us, and there's no other mean than staging dharnas. And so it went on for months, that every day we students used to gather, go to the authorities, that we are not asking for anything. We are asking for colleges. Yes, we want to study. Whatever we've left behind has gone. What we're going to carry forward is our education, and that is something which is going to lead us forward. So please give us an opportunity, give us a place to study, give us tutors to teach us. Finally, after I think 4 5 months going to and forth, ups and downs, the authorities decided that, okay, we will open colleges for you, the same colleges where the locals go in the morning. You can go in the evening. You will be treated as migrant students, and that will be called a camp college for you all. So that's how we started the first three batches, at least. So we used to go in the evening, and morning the locals would go, and our timings, they would adjust with Srinagar. So if there was a curfew in Srinagar, we didn't have classes in Jammu. If because of snowfall, they would cancel classes in Jammu. The class would be classes here also, because it was all linked. So they wanted us still to be with them, but physically we were not there. So that is how the journey started post 91. And by God's grace, I finished my graduation, and then went on to do my MBA from Pune University. That again, I would like to mention, that time they would not, locals had there is a portion of the amount of seats which is given to the locals. So we were from a different state. So how will we get seats? Then, Maharashtra was the only state which came forward and said, okay, we understand the problem of Kashmiris. So in every college, we will have one seat for a Kashmiri migrant. So that helped a lot.
Yeah, but it's amazing within a country who are called a migrant. That itself is a very, I would like just the same country, and you suddenly become from the same country, you become a migrant.
Yeah, see, what we used to feel bad is that, the reason why we came out of that from Kashmir was because we wanted to be part of India. And suddenly we realized nobody owns us. They say, you don't belong to this state. They didn't want to give us the college admission. Then we didn't know for postgraduate where to go, because none of the states had seats for us. So, it was a little bit of very discouraging that time. But things changed. I will not, I'll have to mention that things changed. A lot of other states came forward. I think Karnataka was the second state which came out and said we will have one seat per college in engineering colleges, in regular colleges for Kashmiris, which still continues after 30 years also. It is still there. So that that privilege, when it was given to us, I think all the Kashmiris must have taken that opportunity, including me. So I ended up with an MBA seat in Pune University, and thanks to that, which just paved a way for our future journey. So that's how I finished my MBA and landed my first job in Delhi. And a very small organization, but I think it was a very enriching experience working. It was kind of, those days there was no concept of startups, but now I feel that must have been a startup which gave us the opportunity. Then moved on to Sterling Holiday Resorts because I loved traveling, which I still do. So that company gave me an opportunity to travel whole India. And while I was working there, uh, I got engaged, was married, and moved my base from Delhi to Mumbai with my husband. And the first 4 months, I was just, being a housewife. Let me see how does it feel. But I think it was not in my DNA to just sit and do nothing. So I said I have to work. So my husband was doing his MBA. He said, "See, I am busy. You better, think about what you want to do and do it fast." So I went, the first day I went out and I landed with a job and I was so happy. I came back, I said, "See, first day and I have a job in my hand." I joined one of the placement consultancies there. Unfortunately, just after I think 6 months, I met with an accident and had my first, I had a major slip disc and I was bedridden. My right foot was almost dead. And I was told you have to go undergo surgery. And those days, I'm talking back around 23, 24 years back, things were not so advanced. So it was very scary. They said, no, you will have to be operated because normally maybe you would have tried physiotherapies, but your case a little, you will become limp if you don't get operated. So for a month, I was totally on bed and didn't know what to do. And my husband said, let's go ahead and do it. I said, I will become what if, it was very scary. I went into a depression. But finally, I went ahead and got the surgery done. By the grace of God, from the very next day, I was fine. I was on my feet. There was no issues. But I went through that post-operation depression and I was those days was really bad because I actually didn't know what was happening. I was okay, I was fine, I was walking. There was nothing to be worried about, and why I'm in depression. I just consulted a doctor, a family doctor. So he said, there's nothing wrong with you. You start working. Stop. I don't want to put you on the medication. And it was my father, like as always, he was like a solid rock behind me. He came and he didn't sympathize with me. He looked at me and he just scolded me that, what is wrong with you? You're on your feet, you're walking. What has happened? Look at your husband. He's so depressed looking at you. Do you want to do this? And he went on and on and on. And I said, they're all right. What is wrong with me? Why am I doing this? The first thing I did was went back to Mumbai, stopped all the medication. I said, it's okay. Went straight away to the office. I was working. Luckily, I had a very understanding, very good boss. And I would like to mention her name was Miss Billu Warrior. And she said, come on board. Don't even think about anything. I'll give you a job. It suits you. She gave me this job and I started again. And just after 3 months of my surgery, I conceived. And again, a decision which was like, should I go in or not? Because my back is raw. Will I be able to withhold the pregnancy? But doctors came out, they said, no, this is the right time because you are young and you have a very healthy back because of physiotherapy and all. Go ahead. By the grace of God, both my deliveries actually were normal deliveries. Nothing happened and I was fine on my feet again. So this is how then, from a working person, from a student, I became a mother and a totally different phase of life started. Uh, Initially, you were in like any other mother will relate to me, totally lost, am I actually doing it? Because I had never thought I'll be such a responsible mother. But I think nature, teaches you everything.
Yes.
You started rearing, and while I was actually the second one was born immediately. I think just 2 months into her birth, we moved to Bangalore. My husband was asked to promoted and sent to Bangalore, and we moved to Bangalore. Totally again, from a totally different background to a different background. Maharashtra was totally different. Bangalore was totally different. And my husband had a traveling job. So with two small kids and with my mother-in-law, I said, let's take this as a challenge. So what with this city, what will this, how, let's see how to, face the challenges here. And Bangalore, but was a very good experience. The first few months were really, the city, I felt, it just welcomed you, and we started gelling in.
I've
Yeah.
been in Bangalore for 5 years, and I felt the same thing in Bangalore as well. And it just like the way story is moving forward, the way it's going ahead, um, it definitely shows that you don't give up very easily. You just keep moving
I
forward.
end up, I don't know, but it's a spirit. I don't think too far away, but it's the okay. If this is not working, what next? That keeps you moving. I feel that keeps you moving. That if something happens, if I start thinking and wanting, oh my God, this has happened, then maybe I will be, I'll just start going back. So I have to go forward. So the next thing is okay, what next? So aage chalo aage. My daughter sometimes tease me, "Ma, you're always." I said, I keep plan B ready. I don't know what plan A, but plan B should be there. So what next?
Yeah.
So
And that's the way to keep moving forward, Anjana, because life keeps hitting us one after the other with situations. Some of us, and not to judge the intensity, we can feel Anjana's story is, of leaving Kashmir and then going through surgery and then and then I think again you were unwell again one more time and you had to take a decision of operation or no operation. There was another surgery that I think post your children you were deciding, and different people intensity of what they feel they are stuck in keeps going up and down. But why this project is really picking up the thing is that when you become a mom, then you become a mother, then you don't give, there is no other option. There is no other option. You just keep riding on the tide all the time and you just keep moving forward. And sometimes mothers look after like 50 years and they're like, wow, that was the tide you were riding. We don't even know we were riding on that tide. Because your children become your reason. Your children, you want to raise. And I'm absolutely, even with your story, I'm in awe of the fact to be able to detach yourself from being totally thrown out from a very comfortable zone right into a very uncomfortable zone, and not being bitter about it and keep moving forward, and then raising two daughters to be confident to go ahead, and giving that hope that life is still better, it's still okay, everything can be put together. I'm sure it's said, and it's been proven in these 87 interviews as well. When the mother takes charge and she shows up and she shows her children that I climb Mount Everest, you will also have to. This is the only way. Then the children climb Mount Everest, right? But if we sit back and we start going deeper and deeper, as you mentioned, depression is something which is very common in mothers post becoming mother. Also, it's become very common, and it sometimes is disregarded as, oh, it happens to mom, then that's the hormonal changes or hormonal changes are happening or whatever is happening. But the fact that if we stay there, and that's what this book is coming out for, these 100 stories will say staying there is not the solution. Medicine is not the solution, right? Just keeping yourself quiet by taking medicines after medicines after medicines is not a solution. And I don't know how much of my interviews you've seen. I come from a childhood where my mom was, taken away as she was schizophrenic, and I was 6 years old, and medicines had spoiled it even more at another level for her. And I'm 40 years old, so I'm talking about 34 years back, and my son. So I'm talking about 45 years back. This country did not have the solution, for something like that. And then mothers are, there's so much, there's a children, there are so much happens that they break down. A lot of moms break down. But when they see their children, they stand up. They carry their disease, they carry their problems, they carry their past, they carry everything, put it on their back, and then on top of it, put their children on, and they keep moving forward. Put the children safely on the other side of the world, tell them that you're safe, and then a lot of breakdowns happen as well, because a lot of mothers I'm speaking to now a lot of breakdowns happen when the children are gone, because all she was carrying was right beneath her children was this things that she was carrying on her back. She finally gets, left with that. And that's why I want to bring this book out, to say that you don't even have to carry that. There's a community of moms and you're not alone. And because this is what I
Yes.
found in my research. And when I was growing up and I was having issues as a mom and bringing my childhood and mixing all that up, I probably thought I felt alone about it. But when you see other mothers, and I started doing research, I was like, my God, mothers after mothers after mothers after mothers are carrying this, right? They are carrying this whole thing. But one commonality which was there, when it came to their children, nobody messes.
Children.
Nobody messes with that,
Nobody.
whatever country you are in. Nobody messes
It's
with their
that,
children.
that protective nature. You suddenly, have that clutch that you're going to hold them. That is a, that
Or they
natural
will hold you. Or the vice versa. They hold you. We think we are holding them, but actually they are holding us.
holding us.
It's a newborn baby. He's actually holding you because you are right there, and that's your new reason to keep moving forward. And they hold us. And one of the moms was I was interviewing, and she's a musician and she's a physiotherapist as well. And she said, Anjana, that when you go and you tell your children, then I exactly know what's going in your head. Like your children are caught, right? If they're lying to you, and then you go ahead and tell them that, say, like my younger one will ask me, "How did you know?" So I'm like, "I'm your mom. The mom knows it. Like your mom knows it. You don't have to say it. She just knows what you're exactly going to do." And she had a beautiful thing to say, and that's what added to my learning was that she said that even they know. You think they don't, but they also know what you're going through, and they do. And when they do, they also come up in their own ways with their own expressions to hold you and raise you and give you a reason to move ahead. And recently there was a reason why, like, my younger one got burnt and I had to stop the interviews after 75 and then move forward. My younger one came and told, like my older one came and told me, keep going, mom. You're on 75, mom. You will go ahead and you will have. And I was not expecting my 8-year-old to tell me that, but they know that you're giving up. You're saying that no, enough. I can't do it. I think I can't move forward, and then this happens. So it's a beautiful story, and I would love to know a little bit about your daughters and your relationship with your daughters before we move on to quickly talking about the self-portrait. Is the tool that I'm bringing out in this book, where we're going to express our stories or ourselves or what I feel or to inspire the world through photography. And so, how's the relationship with your daughters? What's
Um, as I mentioned, my daughters were, especially the elder one, she was born because we were alone. I mean, she and me, my husband was traveling. So she was always very attached to me. So she would share, each and everything. Once she comes back from school, everything has to be told to mommy. Even if I don't have time, I'm busy, she would, I had to recite everything with her. Okay, this. I think that habit continues even now when she is doing her master. She's in NYU, but she's still, she will say this happened, that happened. And sometimes it's like, enough, you lead your own life. But this is how she is. Whereas my younger one is totally contrast. She is into her own world, the way the kids these days are. But I think she understands me the most still. Both of them are like, I every time I walk with them now, both of them are taller than me. I used to consider myself very tall, the tallest in my family, but both of them are taller than me. And when I feel, when I walk with them, there's a certain sense of pride, for me. I feel really these are two people I have, they're born out of me, and now they're elder, taller than me, and I can, I derive that strength from them. I think if I am today, I stand up to the world or whatever, it's because they both are there. They're there telling me, Mom, no need to worry, we're there. It's a simple encouragement like, at 50, I wanted to do a course, and both my daughters encouraging, saying, Mama, we get inspired when you study. But, they're there checking my notes, seeing that my assignment is okay. It gives me, I don't know. I can't explain the joy because there was a time when I was doing this for them, but now here they are. They're helping me doing my assignments, sending them on time because they are tech savvy and they know how to do it. We'll do this. You know, it is a tremendous joy for a parent when your children grow up and behave like this. I feel proud that this is what I have achieved, and I look back and then I say yes. If whatever said and done, what are the ups and downs in your life, I don't think so I remember them. I remember this, what is in front of me, what I went through, and they have actually, out of that, the struggle, this is my achievement of last 50 years or 20 years. And I'm so thankful to Lord for that. And I should mention that, my husband is another, that he might not express it very, often, but I think he being there always supporting, whether you join your work back, whether you have your work and your children, he, without saying anything, standing behind you, makes a huge difference, so you go forward, there's somebody there, you just just looking at him, it's like, yes, I have to go move forward, I have to do this.
And that's why I was telling you that we 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 think we're alone, but actually our children carry us in a lot of ways. And I, of course, my children still have to grow up. I have like 8-year-old and 2-year-old. But I have had mothers here as well where they've had difficult situations. They've been homeless with children. They had to leave abusive marriages, and they moved out, and their children have got them back to their somebody to spend time with, getting them on dating sites, getting them on stuff. So your children can see. You really can't hide it from them. And if you build that up with them, your heart can speak to their heart, and that's also a common thing. We feel very thing that children are going to leave and go. Once they grow up, they're going to leave us and go. But if we keep moving forward with the determination that we are on our path and we are doing what we are doing, and this is going to be the right thing, and put the faith and not the fear to stop us from doing what we are doing today, we're going to only have friends when we're going to go ahead in our life, right? And that's also been proven again, not only in our country, because sometimes people feel that in our country, in India, people, children stay longer with us, so they are with us. But I am finding this even again a common thing. If it's not only the cultural thing, it's the bond. If you have the bond, they are with you the rest of their lives,
Yes.
whether they're far away from you or not. So now that you're going to be doing a self-portrait, and I know that that's what I've been breaking, this whole thing of people wanting to express visually, and that's going to be my mission for the coming few years, about expressing visually, because we are visual human beings, and human beings are visual and they process visually, and to be able to see what we feel and it to be expressed visually, it is transformative. It's already, I've done a workshop and it's transforming a lot of mothers. Mothers are feeling that, to be able to see themselves like that in their story. What do you feel? What do you feel about this whole thing about self-portrait, self-expression? I know that's something, I'm sure, like other mothers, like me, you're also not doing. But what do you anticipate that journey would be like, of you expressing your story through self-portrait to inspire a mother who's sitting and opening that coffee table book a few months from now? So what I'm asking, my question was, what are your feelings around that? What are your feelings around?
Oh, I actually don't know. Right now I'm not able to visualize how it's going to come about, but I just help me out in there, because when you're saying how we're going to portray this journey through pictures, so I had started to visualize what all can be put there which showcases your journey, your self-portrait through pictures. So from where are we going to get the stuff? I think it's something which maybe it'll take a lot of effort on your part also to help us, and for me to visualize what are going to, how is it going to come out? It's something, I'm really excited to see how is the journey going to be portrayed in the book through pictures. That is
See,
something
that's
I'm
why
looking forward to.
I love this about you that you use the word I'm excited about it, because that's what it is. Like, if you're excited about this journey, it just keeps taking you deeper and inner and everything. Because the first question we need to ask is, who are we and what are we going to tell the world? What is it that we need to say? And of course, I'm there to help. Of course, I'm there to help. So I'm so happy that you're excited about this journey. And there is going to be a resistance. There is going to be 100 questions coming around it saying, oh my God, why is it needed? But just imagine, like, when the book comes, it's just not about your face. It's about a story that reveals through our picture of what we are trying to give to the world. It is a book that's going to give.
As I told you, even if it touches that one person on the way, one person gets inspired, I think we've achieved. You have done your job, Shika.
Yes, and I thank you for believing in that. Thank you for believing in that, because this is going in that direction. Um, when I close my eyes, Anjana, I see thousands and thousands and thousands getting inspired, because in the last 5 months, the amount of hearts I've got connected just for these interviews, just for people to put their attention on the mother pulse, just to make them look, he turned around. This is the major population that is raising children all around the world. And this is the major population who is, yes, she can be a professional, she can be a corporate, she can be a photographer, she can be a this thing, but there is another very important role being played by this person since the birth of the child, for herself and for the world. So put your little attention to that, because just to take this further, and that's the, I'm good, Melanie is not there, but Melanie is this person who thinks that when I say use these words crazy, but the crazy vision of mine which talks to me, and that's because we are alive, is that the mother pulse is the only solution for our world to become better. And if this pulse becomes weaker, there is no way out.
Out.
Because the minute we go off the mother pulse, we start doubting. When we align ourselves to the mother pulse, we exactly know what to do. We exactly know what to do. We don't need outer validation. We do not need what to do. We just do. And the doubt that comes is only comes when we're off the mother pulse. And then this mother, I'm not saying the men don't have a role to play in children in future, but this is a mother who also brings out those men who are also not aligned with the mother pulse. So the mother pulse can be, even a man could be aligned to the pulse of the creator, which is the mother pulse. So the mother pulse is feeling a little isolated, and we're going off, and then I get questions that, oh, you're heading a mother's project. Do you think it's worth it to have children? And that's the beginning of extinction. Because the bee has decided that I don't want more children, so bee will get extinct. The tiger has decided I don't want to have more children, so it's the mother who decides no more children coming in. It's the mother who's dying. That's why extinction. So if today's mother, the next generation starts to ask, is it worth it to have children? And this is the book that's going to bring that not only it's worth it, it is the only solution for moving forward. To let the mother feel empowered, irrespective of, it's not about very the word in Hindi is coming as andolan, but it's not, we're not screaming that give us our rights. This book is only saying that pay attention to this being with the role she's performing, because she needs a pat on her back. She needs to say and be acknowledged that I think you're amazing, and she will go further, release children for the next generation, who will go hug trees, who will create forests, who will not go towards destruction. Otherwise, the next generation is going to get lost. So that's what the book is all about, and I'm so excited to have you, Anjana, in the book. And thank you for bringing your story to us. And I would love you to meet more mothers. Now we must end, because the book is called 100 Self-Portraits, 100 Dreams. What is Anjana's dream? What is her dream? Because we are going to all together manifest dreams of all 100 mothers of the world. That's my dream. So, what's your dream, Anjana?
You know, the reason I did this course in child psychology recently is something, a cause which I believe in. Whatever the experience last 10 years is something, what I find which is missing because the parents, the young, especially the young parents, not their fault. They're all busy and they have to be busy. People have to earn. But somewhere there, the understanding part of the children, when I see them in the daycares, this was something which really used to hurt me somehow. I used to get too emotional about things. So I said, want to do something where I'm able to help not only those children, but the parents. So this is, one my dream. Once the younger one is like, when she goes, now she's about to move to the college, then I'll have more time. And this is, I want to do something, start a consultancy or associate with myself with those consultants where I can make a difference. It's not about money. It's just that, I want to make a difference to those children, to those parents, and make sure that, because these young children are the building blocks of your future. And if they are not taken care at the very beginning, uh, they don't become very good adults. I have this feeling. And if there are people who can make a difference to them apart from their own parents, please come to this field. And this is what I want to do, because I really believe in that the children need that support when they are young. So I am planning to, in fact, pursue a few more courses in that, and ultimately, this is what I want to do.
So
Um, if-
I must say that your dream is coming true at the right place, because somebody in the comments right now, Frances is here. She's a parent family coach. We have some behavioral scientists who are working with children. Beata is there, Melanie is there. So you have already few very powerful moms who are working across the world, and they are absolutely, in the field taking this ahead with their coaching programs. So I would love you to join hands with them, get
yes,
to know them.
definitely.
Francis
But
is here. She's
meeting
already in
those
the comment.
like-minded people is, what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
Let's
so that's
hope.
your dream, and it's coming true because you're
Yes,
already in a book meeting international moms who have the same feeling, and they are walking ahead anyway, in different fields, and they've worked and they've studied and they've written books. So I think you're at the right place already. So your dream will come true. And that's my
thank you.
dream. That all
Thanks.
100 moms' dreams should come true. You've already stepped into your dream. I must tell you that right now, by saying yes to be part of this book, you've already stepped into your dream, because the minute I add you to this thing, and Frances is here, and I think she will reach out to you. But there are other mothers who are all, so just connect with them
Yes,
and connect with
sure.
them, and your dream will come true, and we will make sure that this community of 100 moms holds hand and makes your dream come
Makes a
true,
difference. Sure,
and
definitely, definitely.
also makes you feel that your story can be expressed, and we all are there to help you with that. I'm
Thank you.
really
Thanks a
looking
lot.
forward to your story, Anjana, and thank you for saying yes, and welcome to the book. Very soon, we're going to be holding this book again. You never know how. You've made journeys, right? You've made such difficult journeys. You never know how you're going to do it, but you just know you're going to do it. So I'm just going to do it. We're just going to have the book. It's going to be all 100 moms, and we're going to make a difference with this book. So
Definitely,
welcome to the book,
definitely.
Anjana.
Thank you
And
so much.
yeah, and I would just stop the live, and we will go. Thank you, Francis. And I know that the minute you will be in a state of commenting, please connect with Anjana, and you guys can take it from there anyway. So I'm just going to go stop live and just stay on, Anjana. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.